Hi everybody, Tom Womowski, injury attorney. Today we're talking about uninsured motorist coverages. This is a type of insurance that primarily protects you. There are a number of different kinds of insurance policies and coverages for car insurance. Some protect yourself, some protect somebody that you may hurt, or a combination of the two. Uninsured motorist coverage is a unique type of insurance coverage that primarily protects the person who purchases the coverage. It's important for me to note that not every state requires that drivers purchase uninsured motorist coverage. The two primary states where I practice, Missouri and Illinois, they do require drivers to purchase uninsured motorist coverage. The minimum amount that they require to be purchased is $25,000, which is also the state minimum liability insurance amounts. However, there are insurance companies in both states and all around the country that will write policies for uninsured motorist coverage into the millions of dollars. So what is uninsured motorist coverage? Well, simply put, it protects you and provides insurance coverage in case you are injured by the negligence of a driver who does not have car insurance. Nearly every state requires drivers to have car insurance, but of course, not everybody does. It's estimated that as many as 25% of the drivers on the road do not have car insurance. The reason that uninsured motorist coverage is so important and essential for everyone to have is because of what happens if you're involved in a car crash. Now, under normal circumstances, you would go after the insurance money that the other driver has. As injury attorneys, we very rarely go after somebody's personal assets for a variety of reasons. The primary reason is that most people simply do not have a lot of liquid assets that are available to be paid. Insurance companies have a lot more money. Another reason is that insurance companies are much more willing to voluntarily pay money to settle a case, whether that's $25,000, $50,000, $100,000, or even more. An insurance company is much more likely to do that than convincing an individual person to write a check for $100,000. Another reason is that insurance companies have a fiduciary duty to protect somebody who purchases insurance coverage. That means that if you cause a car crash and your insurance company believes the claim is worth $50,000, they have a duty to you, their policyholder, to settle that claim and act in good faith. That's a lot different from an individual person or even a company who could just simply ignore a claim that's made until a lawsuit is filed. It's also much easier to go after insurance as opposed to a company because of what happens if either the individual or the insurance company refuses to pay on the claim. And that means a lawsuit has to be filed, you have to go to trial, and then try to find a way to collect from the assets of the individual person. That can be very difficult to do. That may require garnishing wages, that may require attaching bank accounts, trying to find assets in other ways. That can be a costly process. You may have to pay a company money to do that investigation, and at the end of the day, you may not get anything at all. The old saying goes, you can't squeeze blood out of a turnip. And if somebody has a very low paying job and no money, you may end up receiving nothing. So what uninsured motorist coverage does is it essentially places the insurance company in the shoes of the at-fault driver. So instead of going after the at-fault driver, you would instead be going after your own insurance company. Your insurance company can then look at your claim and evaluate your claim and say, well, if we were representing this actual driver, what would the claim be worth? And if they say it's worth $50,000, then your own insurance company, assuming you have a $50,000 policy, has a duty to you to act in good faith and pay out that $50,000 to you. A question I often get from my clients is, well, Tom, I don't want to have to use my own insurance policy. I want to go after the other driver and have them pay. Well, for the reasons I said earlier in this video, that isn't a good idea. That can be very difficult to do, but there's a couple other points I want to make about that. The first point is that uninsured motorist coverage is not free. Even if it's required by state law, you're paying for that. So you certainly want to use a coverage that you're paying for. And if you live in a state that does not require uninsured motorist coverage and you don't want to use it, then you're paying for something you don't use and should drop that coverage. The second reason is that all states have state insurance regulations that prevent an insurance company from simply raising a driver's rates because they are involved in a crash and make a no-fault claim. I have clients and potential clients that are always concerned that their rates are going to go up if they make a claim. Here's what's important to know. In every state, an insurance company cannot simply raise your rates because you are in a crash that was not your fault. Additionally, if there is any fault that can be assigned to you, the insurance company is going to raise the rates whether or not you actually make the claim. That's important to know. They'll look at the facts of the crash, and if they think you're at fault, at least partially, they'll likely raise your rates no matter if you make a claim or not. Here's the third important point. This is a concept called subrogation. Your uninsured motorist policy says that after your insurance company pays out your claim, they can then go after the at-fault driver themselves and try to recover what was paid out. Say your insurance company pays out $50,000 on your uninsured motorist claim. Now, your insurance company can get involved, go after the other driver, try to collect against their bank accounts, try to garnish wages. That may involve filing a lawsuit. Now, your own insurance policy may require you to cooperate with your insurance company in doing that. However, they will hire a lawyer that will represent you. The lawyer will take care of 99% of everything in the case. That will be free to you. Plus, the most important thing is you will already have your money. You have it up front, and that's much better than trying to go through years of a lawsuit to try to recover from an at-fault driver where there's no guarantee at all. Hopefully this video has helped you understand a little bit more about uninsured motorist coverage and its benefits. If you have any questions, my contact info is in the bio.